Greetings, kindred friend. Before the noise of the world begins to rise, before life out there demands and takes away every piece of precious energy from you, there always exists a sacred moment that few of us truly recognize. Most people wake up and immediately pick up the burdens of yesterday's worries, letting their minds drift toward anxious premonitions about health or the future of their children. Unintentionally, they have lost the most precious opportunity to reestablish composure. You know, early morning is not merely a repeating habit, but a sacred bridge for you to rebirth your essence. In the wisdom of mindfulness, the power to create a peaceful day lies not in circumstances, but in the very first sound you hear when you just open your eyes. And the secret lies here. That first sound should not be the noise of the world, but the sovereign voice from your own soul. Join me in entering this sacred window to find serenity at the very moment of dawn. Intention shapes reality. Kindred friend, let us understand a silent law operating in every moment of human existence. This world does not happen by chance, but everything actually originates from the depths of our consciousness. Etch this profoundly miraculous truth into your heart as an anchor. Intention shapes energy, and that energy creates your reality. The words you softly whisper to yourself when the dawn light first touches the window are not just invisible sounds vanishing into the void. They are the spiritual compass, silently positioning the direction for your soul's boat amidst the volatile ocean of life. When you choose words with mindfulness, you are performing a sacred ritual to recalibrate the flow of life essence within you. Today, I want to hand over to you 5 transformatively powerful mantras. Let them become the guiding light, helping you filter the murky to find the clear and find a stable harbor right within yourself. The first mantra, presences, the true home. Allow me to lead you in performing the most courageous gesture of consciousness right now, the act of returning. If you are lying down, gently sit up or simply adjust your posture to be completely leisurely. Feel the weight of your body resting on the mattress or the soft chair, just like the way a falling leaf is supported by the tolerant earth. Now, I invite you to place one hand on your chest, right where your heart is still diligently beating for your life for over half a century. Take a deep breath and exhale very slowly. Now, let this sound vibrate deep beneath your palm. I am here. I am alive. This moment is enough. Kindred friend, we often spend most of our life essence living in 2 places that do not exist. One is the past, containing old films of regret, and the other is the future painting ghosts of anxiety. Unintentionally, we have turned ourselves into lonely travelers, busily searching for a destination while stepping past the door of the only true home we possess, this very moment. In the Buddha's wisdom, there is a liberating truth you need to remember. Suffering does not actually sprout from the reality out there. It arises from our mind constantly resisting what is happening. When you worry about tomorrow's health or fret over the world's upheavals, you are leaving your current refuge to enter the land of illusions. But when you tell yourself, I am here, you are performing a ceasefire order for your nervous system. You inform every cell that the war is over. The danger has passed. Right now, we are safe. Mindfulness does not require you to change circumstances. It only requires you to change your identity from a chaser to a present observer. When you understand that this moment is enough, you will realize a wondrous miracle. That if this moment is sufficient, then your very essence with all the wrinkles of time, all experiences, and even unhealed fractures is also completely whole and worthy of being loved. Tonight, let this presence become the warmest blanket protecting your soul. The second mantra, spiritual sovereignty. establishing the inner fortress. Have you ever wondered why our minds easily become hostages to external upheavals? How much precious vitality has dissipated just because of a harsh word from a stranger, a piece of negative news on television, or even a small change in the weather in a foreign land? We often unintentionally live in the mindset of a victim, always waiting for the world to be kind so our hearts can be at peace. However, the Buddha's wisdom reminds us of a forgotten supreme power, the right to master our own inner kingdom. Remember this truth to reclaim your sacred strength. External events have no power to make you suffer. It is your reaction and response to them that is the source creating the storm within. Imagine your mind as a solid fortress. The world out there may be full of disturbances, but they can only enter if you are the one who directly opens the door. If life is a river full of rapids, you cannot order the water to stop flowing, but you have the complete right to choose how to steer your soul's boat. Every time you see your heart begin to ripple because of an unfavorable external circumstance, smile gently and assert your sovereignty with this sound. Nothing outside can disturb my peace unless I allow it. This mantra is not a denial of reality, but the establishment of a sacred boundary to protect the seeds of peace within you. When you realize that you have the right to choose your reaction, you are no longer a spiritual beggar, always asking for stability from circumstances. You become the devoted gatekeeper of your own heart. You understand that the world may be noisy, but the kingdom within you always possesses eternal stillness. Tonight, take back the crown of self-mastery. Let your peace no longer depend on what others say or how the world shifts, but rely entirely on your own steady essence. The third mantra, self-compassion. Ending the inner consciousness's war. Try to quiet your heart and imagine your soul as a house you have inhabited for over half a century. In that house, do you ever stop to listen to the atmosphere you breathe every day? Is it a warm atmosphere of tolerance or the suffocation of self-blame? It is heartbreaking to realize that most of us enter our later years with a very harsh psychological habit. We unintentionally become our own most stringent judge. We judge the body for aging, judge the mind for forgetting, and torment ourselves for incomplete things in the past. We treat outsiders with compassion, but treat ourselves with the lashes of judgment. That silent civil war is the largest energy leak, depleting your life essence faster than any natural aging. Kindred friend, the wisdom of mindfulness invites you to perform a great act of reconciliation right at this moment. Repeat this mantra, slowly, like the way you pour cool water on long-dried land. I treat myself with kindness, not judgment. In the Buddha's lens, there is no such thing as a permanent mistake. Every stumble, every incorrect choice in the past is actually a seed of learning. You cannot use darkness to dispel darkness. You cannot use self-hatred to create a peaceful life. What you call mistakes, gently redefine them. They are necessary lessons to forge your depth today. For healing to truly penetrate deep into every cell, I invite you to perform a gentle visualization with me. Gently close your eyelids, relax your forehead and shoulders. Imagine a stream of pale golden light, warm and pure like early morning sun, starting to originate from your heart center and slowly spreading throughout your body. Wherever that light goes, the tightness in the chest vanishes. That light passes through aching joints, passes through heavy areas of the mind, soothing and whispering to every cell that you have worked hard. You are allowed to be okay. You are allowed to be loved right now. Understand this ultimate truth to shed all long-held complexes. Your true value has never depended on a flawless, perfect performance. You don't need to be a person who was never wrong. Don't need to be a person who is always useful to be worthy of respect. Your dignity exists right in this breath, right in the persistence you have shown through life's ups and downs. When you choose kindness instead of judgment, you are performing the most powerful energy, recalibration. You shift the nervous system from a state of fighting oneself to a state of resting in essence. Tonight, allow yourself to be your own soulmate. Let self-reproach melt into the silence of the universe. When you stop fighting yourself, you will find the whole world outside suddenly becomes extraordinarily gentle. Because true peace does not start from the world changing, but from when your heart learns how to embrace itself with unconditional love. The fourth mantra, inherent sufficiency. Returning to the self-lamp, dear friend, have you ever felt like a traveler busily searching for water in a parched desert, but unintentionally forgetting that right in your hand you are holding a gourd of cool water? Throughout the journey of over half a century, how many times have you felt a gnawing sense of lack in your heart? We feel not enough, not healthy enough, not cared for enough by children, not recognized enough by society, or simply not peaceful enough. We spend our whole lives being a spiritual beggar, always reaching our hands out to the external world to beg for scraps of happiness. We wait for a compliment to feel valuable, wait for a success to feel okay. However, kindred friend, the wisdom of mindfulness points out a heartbreaking illusion. When you seek sufficiency from the outside, you are trying to fill a bottomless jar. In the Buddha's teachings, the root of insecurity is craving the ceaseless desire for things beyond reach. We mistakenly think we lack, but the truth is, we only forget. I invite you to contemplate a great metaphor that has saved many souls. Imagine your consciousness like a precious ancient lamp covered by many layers of murky dust of time. The dust of anxiety, the dust of prejudices, and the dust of fears of old age have prevented the inner light from shining. You look at the lamp and think, the light is out. I need to find another flame out there. But you know what? That light has never gone out. It is always there, pristine and brilliant, just waiting for the hands of mindfulness to gently wipe away the murky layers. You don't need to borrow light from anyone, because your essence is the source of light. Now, in the stillness of this sacred window, I invite you to take a deep breath and let this sound saturate every cell. Everything I need is already present within me. Repeat those words once more with all the conviction of your soul. Everything I need is already present within me. To truly touch this sufficiency, I invite you to perform a small exercise of recognition. Every morning, instead of thinking about what you don't have, quietly list 3 inner strengths you have used to go through life's storms. Is it persistence, tolerance, or the wisdom of experience? When you begin to see the treasures you possess, the feeling of lack will automatically vanish like fog meeting morning sun. The greatest identity transformation of a spiritually mature person is this: you shift from the position of a seeker to the position of a source. When you understand that you are sufficient, you no longer look at children with eyes craving attention, but with the eyes of someone who has an abundance of love to give. You no longer look at declining health with the fear of loss, but with appreciation for each remaining breath as a priceless gift. Happiness is not when you achieve everything you want, but when you realize you don't need anything more outside to be yourself completely. You don't need the world to be perfect to be okay. Tonight, let the lamp in your heart shine. Wipe away the dust of doubt and rely entirely on the treasury of peace that is eternally present within you. You already have it all, my friend. Rest in the wealth of your own soul. The 5th mantra, becoming a source of peace, the sacred mission of a mindful soul. Try to contemplate the radiant image of the sun at the end of the day. Although the light has faded and darkness is gradually covering, the sun does not become weaker. It is merely withdrawing scattered light to prepare for the most dignified return. Yet even in that moment, the sun never stops warming all things. Dear friend, our journey thus far has helped you accumulate enough light, helped you recognize the inner sufficiency within you. Now, Zen wisdom invites you to step onto the highest rung, becoming a source of peace. I understand a silent pain that friends in their later years often carry, the feeling that they are gradually becoming a receiver. We receive care from doctors, receive help from children, receive attention from the community. And sometimes, we unintentionally feel like a burden, an entity no longer of much value to contribute to the world. But tonight, under the light of compassion, I want to give back to you a completely new identity. You are not a burden. You are the sturdiest energy pillar for your entire family and those around you. When you position yourself as a source, your life suddenly finds a massive meaning and purpose. This is not contribution through physical labor, but contribution through quality of presence. I invite you to take a deep breath and let this intention shine in your consciousness. May I be the source of peace today. Repeat those words like a sacred vow to the universe. May I be the source of peace today. Try to imagine the power of this intention in daily life. When you walk into a grocery store amidst the hurried pace of life, instead of being tired with the noise, you choose to carry composure in your eyes. When children return home after a long day of pressure and disturbances, instead of giving advice or judgment, you choose to become a safe space for them to rely on. You don't need to do much. Just the peace pulsating in your every breath is enough to soothe every heartstorm of the person opposite you. Right now, I invite you to practice metta, also known as loving kindness. Meditation. Think of someone who is troubling you, or simply a stranger you just met. Softly whisper in your heart, "May you be safe. May you be happy. May you be at ease amidst the volatile flow of life." When you gift peace to others, a miraculous thing happens. The stream of happiness within you will never run dry. On the contrary, it will become even more overflowing and pure. You realize that you have an abundance of love to give, and in that very act of giving, every fear of loneliness or uselessness of old age will automatically vanish. Etch this ultimate truth as your guide. When you choose to become the source of peace, you are no longer a seeker of wisdom. You have officially become a living witness to the Buddha's wisdom, right in the heart of the world. My friend, the wrinkles on your face are no longer marks of time's destruction. They have become serene channels for love to flow through. You no longer wait for the world to be kind to you, because you are the embodiment of kindness. You no longer wait for the dawn to wake up, because you are the source of light. Tonight, rest in that noble position. You have gone far enough to understand that the greatest happiness is not getting what you want, but becoming the source of bliss for all things around you. Let the lamp in your heart shine, silently and persistently, warming yourself and this entire world. Kindred friend, we have together traveled a silent but powerful journey of consciousness. Let your mind at this moment be completely relaxed, like a boat that has reached a peaceful harbor after a long voyage. Looking back at the journey just past, you see peace is not built by stormy efforts, but is woven from the 5 sacred threads of intention, starting from presence to know you are alive, establishing sovereignty to protect the heart, watering self-compassion to end civil war, recognizing sufficiency to stop being a beggar, and finally reaching out to become a source of love. I know, Sometimes you will worry whether you can keep this state forever. But please empathize with yourself. Mindfulness does not require you to be perfect immediately. Contemplate the metaphor of the pure lotus flower that the Buddha always loved. The lotus does not sprout and bloom in just a blink of an eye. It patiently accumulates life essence from the dark mud, quietly reaches through the cold water, and only when conditions are sufficient, each petal gently opens under the sun. The mud of the past, the hardships throughout 60 years of life, and even the wrinkles of time are the most precious nutrients for the lotus of peace in your heart to fragrance. Do not be in a hurry. Each morning when you repeat these mantras, you are kindling a bit more light, opening one more petal of serenity. From this moment on, the words we have just initiated together will no longer be invisible, sounds vanishing into the void. These words have officially become living intentions, silently directing and guiding your every breath, your every behavior. You are no longer a traveler, lost amidst anxiety. You are the embodiment of wisdom, the brilliant lamp warming yourself and this entire world. Tonight, rest in that noble identity. Let your mind be steady like a lake, and your intellect clear like the full moon. If this talk has touched and soothed your soul, I invite you to continue the journey of awakening by clicking the subscribe button. Share the lesson that made your heart feel most eased in the comments. That is how we together light a candle of peace for the community. May the light of compassion always protect you. Wishing you a leisurely life, a peaceful body, and a joyful mind. Goodbye, and see you in mindfulness.